The Cleveland Browns are in one of the worst situations in the NFL, so today we are going to try and fix them by doing our mock rebuild of the Cleveland Browns. So we're going to do this video, we're going to talk about what's going on with the team, what they need to address, where they are bad at. We'll talk about their salary cap, and spoiler alert, they're in tough shit there. We'll talk about some free agency moves, whatever we can do with the limited amount of money we have. We're going to do 3-round mock draft, and then at the end, we'll just kind of cover everything we did. So all that said, B. Ross, you want to start us off on this Browns team? What is the biggest issue for the Cleveland Browns?
The biggest issue on the field is the quarterback play. Everyone knows the storyline. You have a 5'9" quarterback who's not playing well, and they have a guy with talent behind them. They're not playing them. Then off the field, it's the cap situation. They are paying, again, quarterback. That room is causing them all kinds of turmoil. They're paying a quarterback guaranteed money, and he's not even in the building. So when you're talking about doing, rebuilding the team, this is not where you want to start. But they have other holes, but that quarterback room, they need some form of stability in there for them to even have a chance to be more than what they are right now.
Yeah, I think the most important thing we can say here, Deshaun Watson is killing the Cleveland Browns. He killed them last year on it with his play on the field, and now he's killing
Yeah.
them in a variety of different ways. Not just, his play, but where they're situated at financially. So, kind of a brief little overview of how we got here with the Deshaun Watson situation. Let's not forget Deshaun Watson, great quarterback for Houston. Then the allegations came out, and then all of a sudden, Cleveland's in a situation where Baker Mayfield's not working out. They want to go for the big fish and make the big move. They make a trade for Deshaun Watson. This is the issue. They gave him a 5-year, $230 million deal that was fully guaranteed, and they have since then restructured that deal multiple times to try and open up more cap space. But what that is doing is that is killing them this year. I mean, it is actually fully hurting them. This contract is just brutal for them this year in 2026, the year we're working with. His cap number is $80 million. It's nothing you can do. And the thing is, you might say, why not trade Deshaun Watson? There's not a team out there that would.
Nobody's going to pay for that.
No one's going to pay
No
for
one.
Deshaun Watson.
No.
So the Browns are basically stuck with him, and that puts us in a tough spot. Now, in terms of the play on the field today, this is a incomplete roster. This is a Browns team that has a mixture of veterans. Look at Myles Garrett. Look at your offensive line. Look at Jerry Jeudy. Look at some of the guys defensively. It's a roster with a lot of veteran guys, but they're also having to try and build around these older guys with younger guys that are not ready yet.
Mhm.
And a lot of these younger guys either aren't panning out or they're not high first-round picks. They're not super talented guys. Look at, for the best example here, look at Dylan Gabriel at quarterback. They are so desperate for a quarterback that they're starting a third-round pick who probably should not have been drafted in the third round, but they're relying on him to be the savior of this team. They're also going to be relying eventually, we assume, on Shedeur Sanders, a fifth-round pick. I mean, that's just where they're at with this team right now. The play on the field has not been great, especially on the offense. The defense is really good. But look, the reality of the situation, we're going to have to kind of tear it down to build it back up. So that's what we're going to have to do today.
Yeah, man. This is going to be beyond challenging because they have no money. They have no money.
No.
Imagine going to the grocery store and you have negative $12 million in your account. That's where we're starting from.
Yep. I mean, to kind of give you guys to peel back the curtain here, prior to us recording this, we came on and we were like, okay, let's try and put together a plan. And we tried almost every way. We were working this Rubik's Cube, trying all different patterns, trying all different things. And no matter what we did, no matter what we could look at, no matter what, adventures we went down, there just is not a great way to fix this. This is a unfixable team next year. They are going to have to work very smartly with their salary cap. They're going to have to find some maneuvers that we can't find. And then they're going to have to build through the draft where you can find those cheaper players. One thing that we're going to do in this video, where we talked about doing a 3-round mock draft, we're going to look at a couple free agents that are guys that this team could look at, some cheap options to maybe get you a 1-year starter. Really what you're looking for and what the Browns will look for are guys who were either injured last year and are looking for a fresh start, or just a guy that's looking for kind of a revival of his career, because that's what we're going to have to do. So that's what we're talking about here in terms of what's going on with this team. That's just a brief overview of what's happened this year and what they're looking at in the future. really quickly, let's talk about some of their team needs. They have a lot of them. B-Ross, you can start off with the offense. What
Uh,
is the biggest needs not named quarterback for the Browns?
yeah. Well, now you got to look at his targets because that wide receiver room is beyond thin. They have Jerry Judy, but he hasn't been able to replicate anything similar to what he did last year because probably the quarterback play. But then after that, it's to Metro's point, it's a bunch of young guys who really don't know how and what to do in the NFL right now. And it doesn't help that you really don't have any veterans in that skill position room. All your best players are young guys or they're frustrated receivers. So it's receiver, and then you got to look at O line because that room is going to look different next year. You're losing Cam Robinson, Antonio's probably gone, Ochik probably gone. So if you don't have weapons to throw it to, you can't protect, then I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter who's at quarterback.
Yeah. So offensively, I mean, quarterback is obviously issue number one, but then outside of quarterback, it's receiver. And you talked about them having a lot of young guys. Their starting receivers are Jerry Judy, who's 26 years old. He would be kind of the veteran of the room, but he's not playing
Yep.
great. Then it's Isaiah Bond, an undrafted free agent. Then it's Jamari Thrash, a very young player. Malachi
Yep.
Corley, a very young player. And
Rookie.
probably their next tight end, their starter at tight end next year is going to be Harold Fannin, who's a
Mhm.
rookie. I mean, you're looking at the starting offense for the Browns next year is going to be probably a rookie quarterback or Dylan Gabriel slash Shador Sanders, one of the two, a second year running back. If you
Mhm.
keep Jerry Judy, he'll be your wide receiver one, but your wide receiver two is probably going to be drafted next year, or
Yep.
it's going to be Bond or Thrash, very young players, and your starting tight end is going to be David or not David Njoku, Harold Fannin. And then you look
Harold
at the
Fanning.
offensive line, which right now is not horrendous, but look, next year they all either have to be paid or you're going to have to draft their replacements because a lot of these guys are getting up there in age. Wyatt Teller, 32 years old. I believe he's a free agent after this year. Ethan Pochik is, I
Yep.
think, 30 or 31. He's a free agent this year. Joel Batonio, he's 35 years old or going to be 35 years old. He might retire. Cam Robinson, already in his 30s. Your offensive line next year, if you don't bring back those guys, is going to be probably DeJuan Jones at left tackle, who is not great. It's going to be Tevin Jenkins if you bring him back on a 1 year deal at left guard. Who knows who's going to play center? You're probably going to have to draft one in the later portion
Yep.
of the draft. Zach Zinner at right guard, and then probably Cornelius Lucas slash if you can bring back Jack Conklin, that's going to be a right tackle. I mean, this is
This
horrendous.
roster's not good.
It's not
It's
good.
not good
Now,
at all.
there are some pieces defensively that are good, but as part of our plan to tear down this team, we're going to have to thin out this defense quite a bit. So, right now, if you look at the defense, it's actually a really good unit. There's a lot of great players here. Myles Garrett, obviously a great player. Malik Collins is having a great year. Your linebacker core, when you get Jeremiah Wosu-Koromoa going, you're going to have him and Carson Schwessinger that you feel really good about. You got
Right.
Denzel Ward. You got Tyson Campbell now in the mix. You're going to get back Martin Emerson next year if you re-sign him. And then Grant Delpit at safety. So defensively, there's a lot to like. Offensively, this thing is going to look completely different next year. So, in terms of team needs, right now, priority number one is quarterback, then it's receiver, then it's
Mhm.
offensive line, and then it's just depth. And whatever we tear down in the offseason, you got to replace those guys.
We
B
got to
Ross, what do you
replace it.
think?
Yeah, man. I'm 100% with you. Like the issue is, no matter what we do, we're going to have to replace talent with young talent, or maybe a vet or two. But this team is experienced and older on defense, and up front on offense, they're experienced and older, and you don't know which way these guys are going to go in terms of retirement. Or just not wanting to come back to Cleveland if they're free agents. Like that's a real possibility. That's the hard thing about free agency. So there are a lot of holes. This is going to be a challenging rebuild to say the least.
So, I think we should start off now with the money side of things. So, we talked a bit earlier about it. In 2026, they are negative $12 million in cap space. Uh, let me say this again. This is going to be probably a team that drafts potentially number one overall that is negative $12.7 million in cap space. I mean, I couldn't tell you a time that I've ever heard that before. Usually, teams that are bad have a lot of money. Not the case for this Browns team.
Makes
And
zero
the
sense.
reason
Well,
why Deshaun Watson is on a deal where his cap number next year is $80 million. And they just re signed Myles Garrett to what was, I think Micah broke it, but now is the
Yep.
second highest non-paid quarterback in the NFL. Now, here's the other issue. If you try and move off of Myles Garrett, you actually are hurting yourself more than you are helping yourself. So, to anyone out there that says, oh, it's simple, just trade Myles Garrett away, guys, if you trade Myles Garrett pre June 1st, you're losing $17 million and you have a dead money of $41 million. If you trade Myles Garrett post June 1st, you're saving $8.1 million, but you're also having dead money of $15 million. It just wouldn't make any sense to trade Micah or Myles Garrett away. So
Not even a little bit.
that's issue number one. Then you can also say, well, then, how maybe you can get off the Deshaun Watson deal. There's nothing you can do with Deshaun Watson's contract. The only way you can actually save yourself money this year would be by extending him or restructuring his deal. But that would be
Restructuring his deal.
completely moronic to do so. I mean, that would kill your future even more so.
Right. You would just be pushing the problem right down the line. You would be putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound.
Yep.
So you might as well bleed out, take your loss, because this is by far the 80 million for a guy who, the fact that they paid him that much guaranteed after he had not played,
Yeah,
is mind blowing. And then hire a head coach who doesn't play to his strengths, who doesn't call plays to his strengths. Good job, Cleveland.
So there's a couple of things we're going to do to try and open up some cap space. Starting off with the immediate future, we're going to go ahead and give a couple of extensions out. Now, by extending these players is actually going to kind of eat into our cap a little bit, but we have to have some guys still on the team, right? So we're going to go ahead and extend Martin Emerson for a 1-year deal. This is going to be a deal where essentially it's a prove-it year. It's a prove-it deal. We're going to give him a base salary of probably about $1 to $2 million, and you're looking at a bonus if he makes the team, whatever might be the bonus, of probably another
Right.
$1 or $2 million. For sake of argument, we'll just do a $1 million thing because he's an injured player coming off that. So that right there, by doing that, you're now at negative $15 million. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to extend Ethan Pocic. He is 30 years old. We're probably only going to give him a 1-year extension, kind of like Martin Emerson. It's not a prove-it deal. It's just more of like, hey, we want you on the team for 1 more year. You work with us. Maybe next year we give you a bit more of a long-term deal. This is going to be a bit more expensive to extend him because he is a decent player. But we're basically going to give him the same deal he's already on, but with maybe a slightly bigger bonus to it. So in terms of a base salary, we're looking at about $5 million. And in terms of a bonus, last year he had a $340,000 bonus. This year you're probably looking at maybe giving him a $1 million bonus, right? So that would be a total of a cap number of about $7-ish million. That now puts you at negative $19 million in cap space. That's basically all we can do in terms of extensions. In terms of next year, we're going to have to get rid of some big names. And that's going to start off with Denzel Ward, who's going to be our first post June 1st cut. If we trade him post June 1st, you open up $20 million in cap space. That right there puts you into the positive at just about $1 million, right? So to recap, so far we have extended Ethan Pocic, we have extended or re-signed Martin Emerson to be on the team just for 1 more year, and then if that works out, we'll pay them again next year. We just traded away Denzel Ward to open up about $20 million. That puts us in the positive. Then we're going to go to Grant Delpit, who really good player, but unfortunately we have to tear it down to build it back up. So to Grant Delpit, we're going to do the same thing we just did with Denzel Ward. Trading him post June 1st opens up about $6 million in cap space. That'll put us approximately close to $7 million open.
7-8 million. Yep.
That right there is not even enough to pay our rookies. All right. So we have even more work to do. That then takes us to another really good player that has been playing really good for this team, Malik Collins, who is a really productive pass rusher right now. I think he has 4 or 5 sacks in the season as an interior defensive lineman, but he's 31 years old and he's not probably a part of this long-term future. If we trade him also post June 1st, that'll give us about 4.3. That means after all those moves, we are now at $11.1 million, which probably not enough to even pay our rookies.
We are struggling. Like, this defense isn't the problem, but in order to have a more competent offense, that we have to get rid of good defenders and try to come up with ways to create money. And I know what a lot of you will probably want to say, oh, just trade David Njoku. We would owe more than if we just let him walk away in free agency. It is rules to this thing, and the way that the Browns have constructed most of these contracts, they've pushed their problems to the back so long that if they don't address them soon, this is going to be like it's only going to get worse. So I don't necessarily like we have talked about this, and it sucks to get rid of good players who help your team get better, but at some point you got to do what you got to do in order to have a chance
Yeah, and there's
financially.
when we tell you we've gone through maybe not every possibility, but gone through almost every
But most of
possibility.
them.
Most of the possibilities of like, what if we did this with Miles Garrett? What if we did this with David Njoku? What if we did this with this guy, this guy? We've
Yep.
probably tried it. And either it hurts the team now or it completely kills their future. Again, you can say just restructure Deshaun Watson's deal. That'll open up 35 million. Guys, if you restructure his deal, 2027, 2028 are going to be even worse for this team. And that's
Worse.
when you want to
Yeah.
be a contending, putting the team together team. 2026 is not going to be a good year for the Browns. So you have to sort of just, eat it basically, take the L's, take all the bad stuff that's going to happen to be a better team in 2027, 2028. So unfortunately, that's just the situation we're at right now with this team.
Yeah. That Deshaun Watson contract is really just that's the nail in the foot. Like you can't move.
And
Just can't do anything.
if you're talking about Jerry Jeudy, the only thing that would open up a bit of cap space that would make a level of sense would be trading him also post June 1st, but that would only open up about $4 million. But
Yep.
realistically speaking, if you get rid of Jerry Jeudy, your receiving core
You
is
have
going to
your
be
weapons.
it's going to be a first round pick that we're probably going to have to do in our mock draft. It'll be
Yep.
Isaiah Bond and it'll be Jamari Thrash and maybe Cedric Tillman if he returns next year. That's not good enough for a young rookie quarterback. So you are trying to keep, you're going to have to probably keep Jerry Jeudy to at least give your young quarterback a good player. And Judy's not old. He's only going to be 27 next year. So you're feeling pretty good about
20,
that.
26, 27. Yeah, there you go.
Wyatt
Nah,
Teller
this is
is going to eat up cap space next year. Batonio is going to eat up cap
yep,
space next year. And Njoku eating up
yep.
cap space next year. And those guys are not even playing for your team.
Hence why I said the worst constructed contracts. All they did every year was push money back every year since they start re-signing guys. But now it's showing up and you have to pay those guys. So a lot of teams do stuff called void years. That's all these guys did. So they put all their money into signing bonus and all these options, all this stuff, which is good because it pushes it back. But that's only good if you're in a window of winning or if you're a real contender. It makes sense. If you're not a real contender, it doesn't make sense because all you do is push yourself further and further away from being in the positive in the cap because Cleveland is going to be paying more and more guys in dead money. They'll be paying almost like a third of guys in dead money than guys on their roster, and that's not where you want to be.
No. And they probably did those moves thinking that we have a window now to win now with this really good defense and quote unquote good quarterback Deshaun Watson. It did not work out. It it
Swing and a miss.
it backfired heavily here. So we're looking at a cap space now of about $11 million. You could maybe assume that they could maybe make a couple financial decisions to open up a bit more money. So to give you guys something, we're going to go and look at free agents now to see if we can maybe bring a guy in for relatively cheap. And we're going to assume that somehow the Browns front office can open up a little bit of extra cap space somehow, some way,
Mm.
maybe through some under the table dealings, let's be honest. So in terms of free agents, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a great class, but
Nope.
there are some guys that we can look at that are looking to revive their career. And I'm going to start off with a guy that nobody probably wants to hear, but it's Evan Neal of the Cleveland, of formerly the New York Giants. Now is going to be a guy that some teams look at as maybe a camp body. And that's for this Browns team what he might be, but he might be a starter for this team because of how weak they're going to be on the offensive line.
Yeah, that is not. When we talked about this, I was not a fan, but he's in our price range. It's
He
like
is.
it's like going to the car lot and you see that brand new convertible, that or You know that Hellcat sitting there,
Yep.
but you have money for this Ford Taurus. That's that's what we're talking about right now.
I
This
mean,
it is a big difference.
the only other name I can think of at guard, because this offensive line next year, I mean, you're probably talking DeJuan Jones starting at tackle. We re-signed our center
Mhm.
Ethan Pochich. You're probably gonna have Zach Zinner starting next year. You're probably gonna start Cornelius Lucas at right tackle. So you really need a left guard because Tevin Jenkins is not going to be on the team next year. At least you would assume so.
Yeah,
So I mean, maybe you can re-sign Tevin Jenkins to a short deal, like a 1 year deal. But does he want to return? That would be my question.
I don't think he has a big.
Market.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he has a big market. I don't think he's going to have a lot of teams. And if anything, he knows he can come to Cleveland and play, opposed to going somewhere else and maybe competing or just being a backup. So, again, I don't necessarily like that either. So, but I would do that because I think he would be cheaper.
Okay. So I'll give you a few names and I'll let you pick here.
All
We
right,
either
what
we
you
either
got?
sign Evan Neal to a 1 year prove it deal. We
All right.
sign Robert Jones, former Miami Dolphins starting guard,
Mhm.
now Dallas backup guard, to a 1 year deal to probably start at left guard. We get the veteran Laken Tomlinson, who is really bad, but at the bare minimum has played
Mm,
to play at left guard. We re-signed Tevin Jenkins, or we maybe go for like, maybe a guy like a Will Hernandez, who you can maybe get for 3 or 4 million.
I liked him coming out. He's been very inconsistent since he's with the Giants. I hate that Evan Neal probably makes the most sense. Would you rather have Neal or Robert Jones?
Ooh.
Those are my two
I
choices right now.
I would rather swing on Evan Neal, if I'm being honest with you. I
Okay.
and I don't think he's good, by the way. I mean,
I'm with you.
if you want to take a swing, you go for Evan Neal to see if you can maybe somehow just get him in a new system, put him with a new coach, maybe
Yeah.
it works out. If you're looking for somebody that could be just decent, could kind of work, Robert Jones, I guess, would be fine. But I also
Or
don't think he's a scheme fit because
or
go ahead.
because I'm thinking out loud. Or do we go get O lineman in the trade? Because we are trading players
In the draft.
and we're trading. No, when we trade those vets,
Oh
we
yeah,
didn't cut them all.
no, yeah, trying to trade some.
Then
That is
then
true.
we could
You are right. Yeah, because you got to make a trade with
got
Ward
to
and
make a trade.
Collins, which means we're probably also eating salary in return as well.
Depends on who we get.
Yeah. I mean, who would it be though? That'd be my question. Like, who are you gonna trade for? The only thing I could think of is maybe you're
Uh,
trading for like a team that has a young offensive lineman that's pissed off for whatever reason. Do Do you
he,
think
he,
the Raiders would trade Jackson Powers Johnson? Because
I think that
he's been pissed off
I
over
wouldn't
there.
hate that.
I think maybe we tried maybe Denzel Ward for Jackson Powers Johnson because they need corners.
I mean, they do, and um, they could and he's cheaper. Guards, significantly cheaper than let's see how this looks.
I mean, Las Vegas would get a starting corner in Denzel Ward. Cleveland would get a starting guard, maybe even center in
Hmm.
Jackson Powers Johnson, who I think would be a pretty good scheme fit. I like it. I'm down for it.
And then they can also send over a pick.
Yeah. Yeah. They probably would.
See.
Wouldn't be a big one. It'd maybe be like a sixth, fifth, maybe at best.
Think that's it?
Yeah. I mean, Denzel Ward is having a really down year this year. Granted, it's not all his fault, but it's not been great.
I think they jump all over the
Who? Raiders?
Raiders.
I think they would.
Yeah,
I mean, and Cleveland gets a
because
starting
they're
guard.
so bad. Because they're so bad in the secondary.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a win-win for both sides. All right, now um what about for Collins? He's a good
Uh,
pass rushing older defensive tackle. Could go to like a win now team.
yeah.
I'll give you a few. I'll give you a few teams. San Francisco could use an interior. He used to play for them actually.
He did.
So maybe them.
Did.
Maybe the Bills.
I was looking at them.
I mean, they could be a team
Have
that.
them up. All right.
Okay, so we'll
Yeah.
trade the Bills. It wouldn't be much. We wouldn't get anything really
No,
bigger. It may be like a sixth round pick.
at all.
Maybe you could get Cedric Van Granger. I
Oh,
think
the center.
yeah, former
Hmm.
I think what Georgia? Yeah, Georgia center.
Georgia. Yeah, yeah.
he can be the guy that's under Poach's for a year. Would they do that though? Would they trade away a young center for a aging tackle, nose tackle?
Ed Oliver's out. When is he
True.
coming back? Right.
Yeah, true.
He that he's coming from a similar scheme, that 4-3 penetrating, like, and they're not going to ask him to do the same things that Cleveland did, but he's more than capable, and he's going to be cheap for a team that has money. Like, going to be fairly cheap.
I mean, the Bills have their center Connor McGovern as a free agent this year.
Hmm.
Who,
They're going to pay him.
if they give him a long term deal, then Cedric Van Prant's kind of just thrown in the air.
Right.
So I'm game for this.
And I think we fill our hole up front, whether it's temporary or not. But
We had Jackson Powers Johnson and Cedric Van Prant up the middle. Your offensive line next year would, I mean, we might draft somebody in the first round. We'll see. But your offensive line will probably be DeJuan Jones, then your Jackson Powers Johnson at left guard, Cedric Van Prant at backup center because we have Ethan Pochich for a year, Zach Zenner at right guard, and then Cornelius Lucas at right tackle. And then when Pochich is gone, maybe Cedric Van Prant starts for you.
yeah, I mean, sitting here looking at it, they say the Bills win this trade.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're banking on the
Yeah,
upside.
side of the young old lineman. So,
Yeah,
but I'm okay with that because the rest of the team is young. This
exactly.
is what a rebuild is going to look like. I like that a lot.
Okay. Now the Grant Delpit thing. If
Was he a trade or a cut?
it can go either
I
way.
can't remember.
It's the same thing no matter what. So do you want to trade him and maybe get a young player back, or do you want to cut him? I think we trade
Trade
him.
him.
Okay.
Trade him. Trade him. Let's
So I'll tell you
look
this:
at him.
the Dallas Cowboys need a safety bad.
They do. They do.
I'm a Cowboys fan, so I can speak that wholeheartedly. Now what you could get in return?
Is a
Dallas
different
has.
animal. Let me see.
I mean, Jonathan Mingo. No, that's terrible. No, you can't do that. Jalen Tolbert, maybe? Because Ryan Flournoy has looked pretty good for Dallas. I know Tolbert's not like a game changer, but he's a decent receiver 3. He gives you some experience, and you can now have at least a guy that has some experience to him. And for Dallas, you get a starting safety. For Cleveland,
Yeah.
you get a wide receiver 3.
Let's get Jalen Tolbert
And you can
get
probably get a
fifth
pick
this year.
Yeah.
We can get a 4th or a 5th this year. We can replace what we lost in the Buffalo trade.
So Tolbert's not like a game changer or anything like that.
No,
But
he's a good quality receiver.
yes.
He's been in the league for a little bit. He's big. He's strong. Knows how to play the game. His thing is he plays with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens.
Yes.
Um,
And Ryan Flournoy has looked really good.
Yeah, he's come on strong. I remember Tolbert out of South Alabama.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we've made some good moves there. In terms of free agents now, I guess now we don't really need offensive line. Do you want to look at a budget interior defensive lineman maybe to replace Malik Collins?
To replace Malik Collins for sure.
So right now, I mean, Levi and Wuzarike got signed, I think, to a 1-year deal for Detroit, and then I believe he tore his ACL or something like that. Really good player.
But he's going to be coming off an ACL.
Something like that. I don't know what it is, but he only signed a 1-year, $4 million deal, and then he had the injury.
So we need to find similar value, but healthy.
I mean, I would be okay with Levi.
Coming off an injury? When did it happen?
I mean, like before the season, so he'd be fine by next year.
Oh, he'd be fine. Oh, okay. I know.
And I'll tell you his numbers real quick. He had 3 sacks, 21 solo tackles, 69.4 overall PFF grade, decent against the run, decent against the pass, and he's only 27 years old, going to be 28.
Do you know that the average PFF grade, like what's average for them, it's 55? Like that's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I was on the phone with them. So, FYI, when you see 60s, like that's actually really good.
Yeah.
You see 80s and 90s, them dudes are balling. So, I
mean, I don't hate
that. And
Mason
I mean, truthfully, you can get them probably, even cheaper than that because he's coming off injury.
Yeah. So he signed a 1-year, $4 million deal with Detroit to come back to that team. That was when his value was high.
High,
Now
right?
I think you get him for probably 1 year, 2.5,
Three,
3.
yeah, 2.5 to 3, yeah.
And this
I
is a
think injury always takes away value,
yeah.
always.
And this is a complete you are going to prove it to us now that you can still play type of a move.
Yep.
All right. So now
Because I mean, yeah,
Dallas or not Dallas, Cleveland now gets a little bit of help there with Levi to play next to Mason Graham. And you do have Mike Hall Jr., who I believe he drafted last year in 2024, second round pick. So you're
mhm,
hoping to get a bit more out of him as well. We're fine on corner because we're going to have Emerson Jr. return and Tyson Campbell's on the team. It's not a strength, but maybe we
but
can
it's
look
not
at,
as bad.
yeah, it's something. And realistically speaking, it's really hard to find a starting caliber corner for cheap,
Very true.
unless I can find somebody. I mean, maybe you sign a vet like a Tre'Davious White.
Uh,
He's 31. I don't. He would want to go to a contender. He wouldn't sign in Cleveland. Maybe. I mean, Darius Slay probably not. Jonathan
no,
Jones no. I'm trying to see Noah Igbenogany maybe.
possibly
Chidobe
because
Awuzie.
I mean,
One of the two. Chidobe Awuzie actually would make a lot of sense
a whole lot of sense
because
because
he
he
was
would come there
playing
and
good.
start.
Yeah, he was playing good prior to the injury, and he's only this past year he signed a 1 year, $1.2 million deal.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, Chidobe. We'll sign you to a $2 million deal,
Yep.
and this is just a temporary starter. And it's one of those things where if it works out, we'll sign you long term. Let's give you a bigger deal.
If it works out, we look like geniuses.
All right. So right now, after all these moves, our offense would be rookie quarterback that we're going to draft, Quinshaw Judkins, Judy, Tolbert, Isaiah Bond, Harold Fannin at tight end. Your
Yep.
offensive line will be DeJuan Jones, Cornelius Lucas as your two tackles. Not ideal, but it's what we're at right now.
Got to make it work.
Jackson Powers Johnson at left guard, Ethan Poaches at center, right guard to be Zach Zinner. Defense, Miles Garrett, Isaiah McGuire, Levi Wuzarike, Mason Graham, Michael Jr. inside. Your linebackers would be Jeremiah Wosu-Koromoa, Carson Schwessinger, and we'll probably have to sign a linebacker somewhere in later in the draft. Your
Yep.
corners would be Chidobe Awuzie, Martin Emerson, Tyson Campbell, and then you're gonna have to probably draft a nickel. And then safety, we don't have a safety. I mean, it'd be Ronnie Hickman and Donovan McMillan. So that might be something we target in like round 3, a starting caliber safety.
We can find a good safety.
Yeah, safeties are a position you can get a little bit less. So, I mean, I'm content with that. Honestly, I think we.
Well, now I'm just put this out there. If he's staring at us in the face,
Okay.
he's just we have to talk about it.
Okay. Who?
You know who I'm talking about. Best
Who?
player in the draft. Caleb Downs. He's just sitting there.
Oh,
I get it. We have to talk
honestly,
about it.
It depends on what the quarterback situation looks like. Because, bit of a spoiler for the mock draft, I just put it up. We're gonna be drafting 6th, and with the Falcons pick, the Falcons are, or not the Falcons, the Jaguars pick. The Jaguars are probably looking to be in like the middle teens. So if Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza, and Ty Simpson are off the board, I think you do go Caleb Downs if he's still there. Either Downs or Jordan Tyson, which then we'll get a little ahead of ourselves there. But all right, are you good with that now? Are you ready to get to the draft?
I think so. I'm happy with the trades. I we didn't necessarily get better, but
No,
we're not
we got something.
we're not hanging everything in on these young rookies.
Yes, we got a bit more experience, and while also still having some young guys too. I mean, Tolbert's only in his middle 20s. Levi's only 27. Chidobe's older, but he gives you a vet on the defense. Powers Johnson's still on his rookie deal. Cedric Van Pran's on his rookie deal. I mean, hey, we did pretty good.
Those are cheap additions.
Yes.
Addition by subtraction, but we save money. Didn't necessarily get better. Again, like on offense, we got to hold up right now.
I agree. All right.
Oh man.
You ready to hop over into the mock draft?
I think so.
Hey everyone, just want to cut in here real quick. An audio issue happens with B-Ross for the entire mock draft, so I do apologize. His voice is going to sound a little robotic. I did my best to fix it as best as I could. Again, it's my fault. I apologize. So as you guys can see, we are on the PFF mock draft simulator. The Browns are drafting at number 6, and they have that other second round pick. We moved the Jaguars. They're actually down here for whatever reason, but we moved them over here to be a little bit more middle of the pack because we're looking at the Jaguars probably as like an 8 or 9 win football team, maybe 10. So they're going to be
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle teens range. All that said, we're going to be doing a 3-round mock draft. Right now, our biggest positional needs: quarterback, receiver, probably need a
Mm-hmm.
tackle, and probably corner slash safety are right now the
Yes.
positions we need to address here. We should have a number of picks really quickly. I do want to see we have 5, 15, 38, 70, and I think 106 is in round 3 too. We can also trade back, by the way, to get even more draft capital. I think we should wait and see who's available first.
But I think we got to see the board first.
Yeah,
But I'm a big fan of trading back if the board is starting to fall
a
in
certain
a
way.
way that's favorable to you. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so right now, Dante Moore goes 1, Peter Woods goes 2, Mendoza 3, Bain Jr. at 4, and Caleb Downs 5, which means we are in a spot where we go Simpson or Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon or Carnell Tate. I think you got to take the quarterback.
Ty Simpson would be a guy he likes. Loose arm, good feet, accurate passer. He can push the ball downfield. Now, the question is going to be, and really for every quarterback, is can they play in cold weather? Can they play in the AFC North because they're coming from the South? Like that's a thing. But and Rodgers came from Cal and figured it out. So,
Yeah,
um,
got no other
but
option.
no,
You got it.
I
Yeah,
like
and
I like the quarterback here, and I like Simpson because I think he's the safest one.
yeah, and you can get receiver with 15th pick. I think we might still be able to get our chance at any 3 of these guys. I think one of them will fall to us.
Yeah.
I mean, this is PFF, you never know, but Vegas probably won't take one. Arizona could, Bengals
Yeah.
won't. Washington maybe could, Baltimore maybe, LA probably not, Houston won't, Dallas won't. So realistically, Cleveland could end
One
up
of
as
those
one of
guys
these
could fall
one of
to
these
us.
teams. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's my QB1 right now. I mean, that can change,
Mine
but
too.
right now I think Ty Simpson is the best quarterback in this class. So him being the guy here makes a ton of sense. So we get Ty Simpson and Jeremiah Love fell to us. That's nice. But we actually have a few options we can look at here. Obviously Carnell Tate's here, but we got our pick of the litter here at offensive line,
Mm.
which it's the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase conversation over again.
Conversation.
Do you go Penei Sewell
And I
or Jamar Chase?
me personally, as much and like I scouted Jamar Chase, gave him the highest grade I ever could as a scout. You still go with O line, always and forever. Now, with that being said, you gotta look at some trade offs right here. Because this is one of them. Because if we look at the rest of the board and we see that teams, aren't tackle needy, then we trade back, grab another few picks, maybe help us in the second and third round as well.
Now, question: do you think Chicago would want to jump Minnesota and Kansas City to get Jeremiah Love?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Yes.
now, if you're Cleveland, are you okay with that? Because you're going to trade back behind a few offensive line needy teams.
How far back?
You'd go from 15 to 20.
5 picks? It depends on what we can get back. And then
Let me
we
see.
have to deal with that.
Chicago we'd obviously flip first, so 15 for 20.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we can get an additional second in there as well? 15, 20, they have the 52nd pick. So 15 for 20 and a second?
We can get that. Because
agree.
5 spots is a lot. People
Yeah.
like that's a lot. That's a hell of a way to jump. So and if they want the guy, what are you willing to pay?
Yeah.
That's my thing. I'll hold ransom, but I'm good with 20 and 52.
Yeah.
Because now that gives us what, 2 seconds?
I think so, yeah. That'd give us
Yeah.
38, 52, and then we'd also have 70 right afterwards. So
Oh, perfect.
we trade back 5 spots. We pick up an additional second round pick. Chicago, which, we'll see what PFF does, but in this hypothetical scenario, they will take Jeremiah Love. So we're going to do that. Resume the draft. They do take Jeremiah Love. The good news is Spencer Fano is still available here. And unfortunately, Carnell Tate's gone. Caden Proctor's gone. But we have our pick of the litter on offensive line. We can go Spencer Fano, Francis Mauigoa, or the guard from Penn State. Or we can look at receiver and go Denzel Boston or Chris Brazel.
I'm going tackle. I'm going fan. I would say Fano.
I would too.
I think he's a Cleveland kind of guy
Yeah.
coming from the Utah program. So I think that would be the safe pick to protect your future. Because to me, Cincinnati did it wrong. As much I love Jamar Chase, but Penei Sewell is
Yeah, start. And the thing too, Francis Maui-Noa, I think sticks at guard and okay at guard. I mean, we have Powers Johnson and Zach Zinner. I think Zach should be fine. Not ideal, but he could be fine. We'll see. Got our quarterback, got our left tackle. We're back up at 38. And really quickly, I will list off receivers: Deion Burks, Ian Strong, Elijah Surratt, Chris Bell, Jeremy Bernard. Pretty interesting. Let's look at corner really quickly. At corner, we have Chris Johnson from San Diego State, Chandler Rivers from Duke, Keith Abney, Dalen Everett, Manny Muhammad a little bit more down the board. Safety, we got Rod Moore from Michigan, AJ Halsey from LSU, Dylan Thieneman from Oregon, Kamara
No,
Ramsey.
that's my guy.
Who?
So Kamar Ramsey.
I like Kamara Ramsey a lot too.
I like him a lot. So I don't think we reach for a safety.
I don't think so.
Because right here,
2 first-round pick or 2 second-round picks.
Right. So I think we can get a receiver here.
Question:
and who and what style, right? Because now we have Tolbert, we have Jerry Judy, we have Isaiah Bond, we have deep threat. So now to me, it's a matter of us saying who's the guy we can just get the ball to. Like, let's make it simple for Ty. Who's the guy? Or do you go get his teammate?
His teammate Jeremy Bernard.
I mean, and I love him. I think he's a good player. They already have a rapport. I think it makes sense. Make your quarterback comfortable. Build support. This is what teams don't do. They don't build support systems for their guys. They go out their way to make them uncomfortable.
Now, before we make this pick, I do want to say there's a few other guys we could go. Caden McDonald, interior defensive lineman for Ohio State.
For Ohio State, yeah, I like him.
Sonny Styles is still here. Caleb Lomu is still on the board. Austin Servold from Ohio State still here.
The tackle
from Ohio State. Anthony Hill still on the board. Caleb Tiernan. I think I still like Jeremy Bernard here.
I mean, honestly, I just like making our quarterback comfortable.
Would you risk it and say maybe we can get Jeremy Bernard at 52, or would you think get him now? Just get him while he's still available. Don't overthink.
How many guys above him?
On the PFF system?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really close though. Ranked 41 is Deion Burks. Then you got Ian Strong, Elijah Surratt, Chris Bell, Lane, and then Jeremy. And we're going back. We're looking about 14 spots here.
So do we say we take?
I would, if I'm taking anybody here, it would probably be.
I would want to go offense again, though.
I'd maybe take both the Utah tackles, go Caleb Lomu,
and secure the edges, and pray that Jeremy Bernard falls to 52.
Now, if Jeremy Bernard doesn't fall to us,
then that's when I would look at the safety.
Yeah, we have 3 picks left. I mean, Trevor Goosby's also here too, by the way. Although I think Goosby returns to college. That's the only issue.
Yeah.
And there's also Austin Servold, Isaiah World. Not a big fan, but
me either.
I'll let you pick. Caleb Lomu, Jeremy Bernard, or Caden McDonald.
I like McDonald too.
Yeah.
But I don't think
Mason Graham, Caden McDonald, Mike Hall.
Yeah. And like they've been adding to that D-line for years, so I'm gonna go Lomu. Just take the tackle. Again, let's secure the edges.
Caleb Lomu, we get both the Utah guys. Now your guys coming over to Cleveland. All right, here we go. 14 picks. Does Jeremy Bernard make it? I'll tell you right now. Ian Strong. Caden McDonald was the pick right after. He goes to Las Vegas. That makes a ton of sense. Ian Strong goes to Arizona. Sonny Styles goes to Baltimore. Lenore Sellers goes to L.A., the Rams. Surratt goes to Dallas. Not sure why Dallas would do that unless they don't get their guy. Oh, we got lucky.
They're not getting Pickens back.
We got lucky. Every other receiver not named Jeremy Bernard went on the board.
Because he's honestly, and this is I'm not talking about this game because I love the player. A lot of people think his game is boring. They don't think he does anything. I'm like, he gets open and catches the ball.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just like, what more do you want? He's a good receiver. You take him at 52.
All right, Jeremy Bernard is on the team. Now we're looking in the secondary here, corner and safety. It's our last pick in the 3rd round. We would have a pick at, I think, 102 right in the beginning of the 4th round. So Chandler Rivers is available right now. I kind of think he fits more inside as a slot, which we actually do need a nickel, by the way.
Yeah, because I will put, And safeties, then Emerson's coming off injury.
Safeties,
who's available?
Keon Sabb from Alabama, Earl Little from Florida State, which I actually kind of like Earl Little, but I don't know. Chandler Rivers, Julian Neal, D'Angelo Pons, Xavier Scott. We could go Manny Muhammad.
I like Julian Neal too.
Yeah, Julian Neal from Arkansas.
Yeah,
I like Chandler Rivers here.
big long corner who can press.
Rivers 5'10", 185. I think we
He can run.
yeah, he can run. I think he
He
fits
can
inside playing the
cover.
nickel.
With Awuzie, Emerson, and Tyson Campbell. That'd be
True. I mean, Awuzie could fill in at nickel. He used to at Dallas.
right, but I think he's better outside.
I do too. Although he has injury issues.
Right. Well, that's why I wouldn't want him inside.
Yeah.
Because the game is a little more
Faster.
physical.
Yeah.
That's my thing with Rivers, but Newman isn't an inside guy. Not like to me, he's a better version of Emerson.
Who is Julian Neal?
Neal, yeah.
Interesting. I'm
I like Rivers, so I'm good with that pick
We could also go Dante
because we need
Corleone
depth.
or Dominique Orange, interior defensive lineman. Eli Stowers is still available, by the way. Whit Weeks, Trevor Gooseby still here. Keon Sabb, Earl Little, Danny Dennis Sutton.
Do you get another old lineman and kick one of those tackles inside, or get an interior guard?
I like Lomu and Fano at tackle, and I like
I do too.
I like Gooseby as a tackle as well. So I don't think so. I think you're fine on offensive line.
Receiver run. Good on Baxter. Yeah, got it. Defense makes the most sense.
Let's
go Rivers.
Yeah, I like Chandler Rivers here.
Let's go Rivers.
Inside. He's not huge, 5'10", 185, but he's a really good athlete.
Well, we also got to think that Emerson's on 1 year. Uzzi's on 1 year. Like, these are 1 year deals. So he's primed to be, him and Campbell are primed to be the duo after year one. So
all right,
I like it.
Draft is over. This is our draft. Let's wait for it to load. In round 1, Ty Simpson. We then in our round 2 pick, we trade down from 15 to 20 and get an additional second round pick. We take Spencer Fano to be our left tackle. We take Caleb Lomu to be our right tackle. Get both the Utah guys 2 for 1. Then we get Jeremy Bernard to play inside in the slot for our Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson. And then in round 3, we take Chandler Rivers to play as the nickel for this team. I look, we entered into this with negative $12 million and a team that needed to be reworked. And we have now put together a roster, and I'm going to do my best to remember everything. Quarterback Ty Simpson, backup Dylan Gabriel, Quinshaw Judkins at running back with Dylan Sampson behind him. Receivers will be Jerry Jeudy, Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Bond, and Jalen Tolbert, and Jamari Thrash. Your tight ends will be Harold Fannin, and you might draft one in like round 4 or 5 because you probably need another one.
Yep.
Your offensive line would be DeJuan Jones, it'd be Spencer Fano and Caleb Lomu. And you'll probably have a competition with Lucas and DeJuan Jones to fight out those guys because they've been on the team now for a few years. So you let those guys compete. Left guard will be Jackson Powers Johnson. Center would be Ethan Pocic, but you also traded for Cedric Van Pran to be the backup and to compete for the starting job, depending on how things go. Right guard will be Zach Zinner. Defensively, you're looking at Myles Garrett and Isaiah McGuire, the same unit off the edge. Your interior is going to be Mason Graham, Mike Hall, and Levi Onwuzurike. Linebackers are the same. Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah, Carson Schwessinger. Cornerbacks are going to be Chidobe Awuzie, Tyson Campbell, Martin Emerson, and you just picked up Chandler Rivers to be that. And your safeties, admittedly speaking, are not good. But Ronnie Hickman will be there, and you're going to have to probably draft somebody around 4 or 5 to play in that strong safety role like Grant Delpit does. So
probably have to draft a couple of those, 2 safeties, probably another corner, a tight end.
Yeah. And you have a couple picks, and maybe there's some more trade options out there. But look, I think we did pretty good. Given everything we went through, I think we did a pretty decent job. Given
that cap, the fact that we maneuvered our way around that to even get to a place where we can draft and pay these guys. So when you draft these dudes, you have to have money to pay them. Mm-hmm. And we had to create money to pay them while also building a competent roster. So I'm going to give ourselves a pat on the back because I think we did a good job.
Yeah. Now, admittedly speaking, we're not contending for a championship next year. We're probably not contending the year after that. But we're putting together a young team that can develop, that can get better. And 2-3 years down the road, if you hit on quarterback, if you hit on your draft picks, if you hit on your free agent pickups, you work your free agency correctly the next few years, you could be a contending team. So I like the work we did. Browns fans, let us know in the comment section below. For starters, what did you think of the rebuild? Did you agree with our picks? Did you agree with our free agent stuff? Let us know down below. And good luck, guys. We appreciate you guys for watching. You guys have a good day. Peace out.